So now we hear from the guy arguably put Minnesota basketball on the map, Kevin Garnett, Hall of Famer to be, incredible player, won a championship with the Boston Celtics, and man, he was incredible when he was in his prime. Like a really amazing player. Yet he has now weighed in via The Athletic about Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, the current state of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's what he said. You don't think that I went crazy sometimes? Yep. Man, I was a damn Tasmanian devil. I would say stuff at Kevin McHale. I would say stuff at Flip Saunders, but it was all to motivate all of us. We had a big game against the Bulls, and I'm just raising the level to what I'm expected the next day to be like. What really the blank storm is that can't nobody keep it in practice. What goes on in practice should always stay in practice. And what goes on between two conglomerates as business should always stay private. Everything is so goddamn public now. I think both sides are a little delusional. I think Jimmy thinks his worth is a little more than what it is. Yeah, he's a very good player. I see him on the Kevin Durant, LeBron James level. But if they are A+, he's definitely A-. I don't know if he had the power to come out and force a trade like this. He can be disruptive, but I don't know if he actually had the clout to come out and do that. I don't know if Jimmy has enough juice to be that. Cat has good leadership skills because he works hard. It's whether he wants to vocalize those, which is his next challenge as a leader to me. Let's go back to 73. I think both sides are delusional. I think Jimmy thinks his worth is a little more than what it is. He's a good player. I don't see him on the KD and LeBron level. That's true. But to call him delusional is where some may take that as a slight.
Well, okay, it could take it as a slight. This is the intersection of old school and new school, and I feel like Kevin Garnett is right on the edge of the old school. Like he played back in the day, but he's not the Charles Barkley, Michael Jordan. He's more with the Kobe era, right? And Kobe just retired recently. KG just retired recently, and they still have half the mentality of the old school. Like you keep that in practice. Why are you complaining? Why are you looking for a trade? Jumping teams all over the place. KG never wanted to leave Minnesota. Even he never would have won a championship if he did. So he still had the mentality of this was the one team. Isaiah Thomas played with the Pistons, you know? That's what it was. Jordan, when he went to another team, you're like, oh, this looks weird. So he still has that old school mentality in a way. And he's like, what are you doing demanding a trade? You have to be the best of the best to say I want to get traded out of here because I was better than you and I didn't do that.
Well, it's not even that. I think what it is the current younger players, this new crop, this new generation that's coming up, they don't view it as I need to stay with this team and build something. And this is of the LeBron mold because look, he was drafted by Cleveland. Dan Gilbert provided him no resources. He's like, deuces, I'm out. You got to help me here. He gave him Sasha Pavlovich. So then he went to Miami. He teamed up with Ray Allen. He teamed up with Chris Bosh. He teamed up with Dwayne Wade. He teamed up with Udonis Haslem. He teamed up with Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, and they won. And then he went back to Cleveland when they had some pieces, and then now he went to the finals, and now he's going to the Lakers to build something else and has young pieces. Kevin Durant, Oklahoma City, he goes and everyone thinks he's ruining the league because he goes to Golden State. It's not that there's no loyalty anymore. It's that, well, if we're not winning, I'm getting out of here. That's why Kemba Walker is somewhat of a throwback player. Because the Hornets suck. Everyone knows they suck. Everyone knows it because no one watches them on League Pass. You get the games and you're not watching them. But like aside from him and maybe a few others here and there, the new crop is, man, we're not winning. I want to go and win as much as I can, be the star or a Robin to a Batman and win. That's where we're at right now.
This is my window, and there's these guys playing. There's certain powerhouses in the league.
And real quick, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just different. That's how we've evolved.
It's the development of free agency, which was always a problem before when players were stuck in a place when they had no control over their lives or their careers.
Right.
So then it opens up to free agency, which I love. You get to see it, and it's less of he looks weird in that uniform. You can imagine Jimmy Butler in any uniform now. You know,
Yes.
It was weird seeing him in a Minnesota uniform. Gotta be honest, but it happens, and we got used to it. Now it's gonna be odd to see him different. We've changed our perception, and there's an impatient nature to the way, and I'm gonna say it, these kids are, and I think that's okay. Because if I was in a position, I would want some freedom to do what I want, and they're gonna make mistakes. They have. Like, I'm gonna go here and play there with these guys, and then you end up in a really bad situation that you didn't want to be in.
And Jimmy is expressing that now. So that is where we're at. Thoughts? Where do you leave them? Comment section below and subscribe to TYT Sports. Do you know what you could get for $4.99? Maybe 1 pack of Skittles. You know what's better? A lot of content. So download the TYT app, available on iOS and Android.